Welcome, I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has promised to revamp the country's security architecture to ensure the safety of lives and property if he is elected as president. Operation to clear the gridlock commences following order by the federal government to restore normalcy to the area within 72 hours. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, as we told you, will concentrate more on security and architecture of the country and promises that if he becomes president, he will come through with that. And Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa preaches racial unity ahead of historic elections on July 30th, promises white farmers land and security.
On business news tonight, Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee is set to hold its third rating decision meeting this year as National Bureau of Statistics releases Nigeria's June inflation figures next week.
And on sports news tonight, seven-time champions Flying Eagles of Nigeria advanced to the 2019 Under-20 AFCON in Niger after they demolished Mauritania.
We begin tonight with politics, where the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has promised to revamp the country's security architecture and ensure the safety of lives and property if elected as Nigeria's president. Alhaji Atiku was speaking at the flag-off of his campaign rally in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, where many of his supporters and members of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, gathered to cheer him up on his new political ambition. The former Vice President says that he is ready to wrest power from the ruling All Progressives Congress if given the ticket of the PDP.
Today, we have the highest unemployment in the history of this country. More than 10 million of our youths are unemployed. Is that what you want? Now, my brothers and sisters, what the PDP is going to do is to restore our economy, is to unify our country, is to ensure we have security of lives and property. I want to appeal to all of you, wherever you may be, that it is time you now re-embrace the party that have given you unity, prosperity, and security in this country. PDP! PDP! Power to the people! My fellow brothers and sisters of Adamawa State, it is time we take back our state.
We'll bring you more on the happenings at that political rally in Adamawa State in the course of this bulletin. But staying with politics, voting has closed, and in Osun State, where the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is electing its flag bearers, head to the September 22nd governorship ahead of the September 22nd governorship elections. The governorship primary held in Osogbo, the state capital, will determine who becomes the party's flag bearer during the September 22nd governorship elections in the state. 7 of the 11 aspirants had earlier withdrawn from the race, leaving only 4 candidates to contest for the ticket. In the meantime, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Comrade Adams Oshomole, has announced its setting up of an appeals committee to enable aggrieved members of the party who participated in the Osun State governorship primary elections to lodge their complaints. Comrade Oshomole explains that candidates who are dissatisfied with the outcome of the elections have until midnight of Sunday, the 22nd, to file their appeals. Comrade Oshomole also used the occasion to respond to PDP's threat to boycott the 2019 general elections, saying that no political party can threaten the nation's democracy. He was speaking in Abuja while receiving the report of the primaries conducted by the governors of Zamfara State.
We accept this report in line with the provisions of our constitution, and we also have to set up, in line with our rules, an appeal panel. Because however clean the report appears to be, members of our party who for any reason may be agree, whether for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons, they have a right of appeal. That our party constitution provides for. So should there be any of the aspirants who participated and who have reasons to question the outcome of the election, they have a right to file appeal, and they will be heard tomorrow. Tomorrow, because that is the last day of the 12 midnight. By Monday, we are obliged by INEC rules to submit the name of our candidate. But let me say that nobody can threaten democracy. Nigerians have accepted it, they've bought into it, they have showed their belief in it by the sheer number of people who voted the last time, and all the campaign we see about people go and take your PVC means that beyond political parties, Nigerians are committed to the sustenance of democracy. So this democracy is not at the mercy of any particular political party, and we cannot be threatened or intimidated.
Some technocrats and academics are seeking the urgent need for women to be more involved, supported and appreciated enough to contest elected positions in Nigeria. That's the position of the speakers and participants at the conference jointly organized by the Initiative for Information, Arts and Culture Development in Nigeria, AICD, and the American Corner, Ibadan. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and renowned historian Professor Bolanle Awe are some of the speakers at the conference.
Out of our own pocket, decided to maintain the library.
It's a gathering that has brought together women leaders and government, those in the academics and the civil society to Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, to discuss the theme, My Understanding of Women's Aspiration in Politics, Business and Nation Building.
As owner, I couldn't have come this far without being mentored by other women.
The aim is to garner support for the participation of women in politics as a renowned professor of history sets the tone for the discussion.
I had served under his government ages ago. He had treated us women not as I would expect to be treated. We went with the constitution that was going to be written. There were 50 people chosen. And this head of state decided to choose 50 men, not a single woman. But he made some changes, at least made sure that women were now in the governments of the various states that were created then.
But it wasn't an all-women affair. The keynote speaker is the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, as he speaks on gender equality and girl-child education.
Women must have a place of honor and invest more in your daughters who are natural business women and needs only a little push or nurturing to become net wealth creators and major employers of labor.
Other speakers believe the involvement of women in governance is a fundamental prerequisite for sustainable development and peace.
Women are a key constituency in every society, and their reputation among political decision makers is a matter of justice.
At the end of the session, participants agreed that gender equality remains a matter of human right and a condition for social justice that must not be denied anyone.
It's now time.
Let's take you back to our lead story now, where we told you that the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has promised to revamp the country's security architecture and ensure the safety of lives and property if elected as Nigeria's president. Alhaji Atiku was speaking at the flag-off of his campaign rally in Yola, the Adamawa State capital, earlier today.
Atiku! Atiku!
It's a cherry moment for many supporters of the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa State as they gather in the heart of the state capital, Yola, for yet another political rally. This time, it's the formal declaration of the presidential ambition of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and he wants the campaign to start from his home state. The declaration is such that brings together leaders of the party from across the country and many others who believe in the aspirations of the Turaki of Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar. One after the other, they take turns to speak of his ideals and vision while also calling on the people of the state to give the People's Democratic Party another chance.
This country is the Wazobia of Nigeria. We need change, and we need change now. We need somebody who can make a difference. We need somebody who cares about the people. We need somebody who can read and write. We need somebody who thinks. We need somebody who dreams.
The man for whom the crowd is gathered, Atiku Abubakar, walks to the podium amidst cheers, pomp and ceremony from his supporters as he speaks on the reasons why Nigerians should consider voting for his party and why members should consider him for the ticket.
Today, we have the highest unemployment in the history of this country. More than 10 million of our youths are unemployed. Is that what you want? Now, my brothers and sisters, what the PDP is going to do is to restore our economy, is to unify our country, is to ensure we have security of lives and property.
The national chairman of the PDP, Chief Uche Secondus, is convinced that his party will have a successful outing in 2019 and wants Nigerians to give the party their support.
The government has collapsed. Economy has collapsed. Security has collapsed. We are on a rescue mission.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is one of the leading aspirants jostling for the ticket of the PDP ahead of the 2019 presidential election. And it appears his stature as a former vice president and serial presidential contender may place him as a top favorite for the ticket. But that will be determined when his party finally elects its flag bearer.
The federal government is to investigate what it terms suspected human trafficking in the case of the 155 Nigerian football fans who were stranded in Russia. The fans had besieged the embassy of Nigeria in Moscow on July the 12th, and upon the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari, were safely returned to the country last night. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, who was at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to receive the returnees, said there were possible cases of human trafficking among the returnees.
The first issue was allegations that the travel agents had cancelled abruptly the return leg of their tickets, and so they were not able to come back. So we had it in mind to, to investigate that and then to take whatever measures were necessary. But as they arrive now, I must say that it's rather disturbing because, as you can see, they are very young. I wouldn't say that they look like the normal football fans you would expect who would, pay their way to go to Russia and pay their way to come back. We have there a young girl, with a baby. So we're obviously going to have to look deeper into this. And also I had spoken to the DG of NAPTIP, and she had also indicated that they had sounded the alarm bells before these young children were allowed to leave the country, that it had all the hallmarks of trafficking and irregular migration, But obviously they were able to find their way to Russia, and they are now back.
In part two, after the break, goods said to be worth millions of naira destroyed as fire guts Terminus Market in Jos, Plateau State. Stay with us.